Atomos isn't on top. Is that okay?
That's now it's my time to take over. My time to shine.
It's all about you. Let's go.
I was hoping I could do this without you, to be honest.
Look, I got a blue t-shirt on. I'm blue.
I can't have you singing. And we're back with episode whatever number this is of the Camera News Podcast. What number is it?
I don't know.
Nobody knows.
Is it 3, 4?
I think it's more than that. I think it's 5. Maybe 5. Episode 5. So, if you know what episode it is, or it says in the title, then can you let us know? Email us.
Yeah, we're finding it hard to keep count.
In what feels like the what's that film? Groundhog Day. We're back again with more camera news. We're looking at microphones, microphone accessories, drones, and there's some big news from Nikon.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait.
Yeah,
it's been a long time.
And what is episode 5 of the Camera News Podcast?
Let's have it.
Oh, that was good timing. Almost like there's a little countdown clock that I'm looking at.
Were you looking though?
Yeah.
Or was it just luck?
No, I was looking at the countdown clock.
Oh, okay.
So, welcome back, Pete.
Oh,
good to see you.
Of course it is.
Yeah, popular demand as well.
I'd like to say the same, but I'd be lying.
You'd like to, or?
Do you know what we should start off with?
What?
An apology.
What for?
The audio quality of this show, because we don't know what time all the aeroplanes are coming across.
Yes.
And it could happen.
For those that are unaware, this is actually G7 week, and we live right next to where it's happening.
Yep.
So every 5 minutes, it seems like there's low-flying military aircraft to look after the president of Japan.
All of the presidents.
Yeah.
All of the presidents are here. And what's really funny about that is everyone is out with a camera, generally their phone, and pulling over and taking pictures of the sky.
Because there's weird aircraft they've not seen before.
There's a lot of strange aircraft. So just get that out of the way. If there is a noise, I'm sorry about the noise, but please understand.
Oh, that's very kind of you.
Yeah.
So what's new at INGAF?
There's a lot new, AJ.
Yeah.
There's a lot. I don't know which part you're wanting me to lead into.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll divulge.
Okay. My friend.
It's been a lifelong dream of mine to share filmmaking tips.
Right.
The things that I did by trial and error.
Yes.
The things that we've done together.
Oh, wow.
By trial and error.
Yeah.
Where, we've watched what we're doing. We've actually, I've got a little hack for that.
Yeah.
Could do a bit faster.
Yeah.
You show me something, I show you something.
Yeah.
And as an organisation,
yeah,
I want to share that camera know-how.
Right. Okay.
So I was thinking of coming up with something we could share on a regular basis.
Well, like little quick tips.
Yeah, for filmmakers.
Yes.
From our organisation.
Yeah.
And it's on camera know-how.
Right. Okay.
But then I was like, filmmakers. Well, it's not particularly catchy because
no, it's not.
What people are looking for now is something cinematic. So
that's right. They are. Yeah.
I was like, I got this, AJ.
Right.
Let's start by sharing some tips.
Yeah.
And I've got a name.
Already?
Yes.
Wow.
The Cinematic Organisation of Camera Know-How.
Wow.
So
that's going to be huge.
Yeah, because filmmaking, it was filmmaking. It made it a very long title. So
I thought you might have gone, because we were toying with this name before the show.
Yeah.
And I was hoping that you would have gone for the Cinematic University of Newbie Technicians.
Yeah, it was the university bit that was putting me off, though.
Yeah, and I hear you.
I thought
it's too strong, that one, isn't it?
It could put people off.
Yeah.
I think most of us are lifetime learners. We love enjoying new things, but university, that could be intimidating. And also, in many countries, comes at a cost. Yes. And I want people to know, I'm cheap. I understand you.
Just like you. Yeah.
Our assets are free.
Yeah. So you've joined my thinking with the business school of free stuff.
Kind of. It's just any way that I can get out there at this stage.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. So you're going to start publishing regular content on our YouTube channel.
On the YouTube channel.
From your new... What's it called again?
I'll give it to you again.
Yeah.
Just see it in big
letters.
Big neon sign.
Right, yeah. Right? Okay.
There it is.
Yeah.
You look up at the billboard.
Yeah.
The Cinematic organization of camera know-how.
Wow. That's huge.
Well,
do you know what?
I'm kind of invested in it already because
Yeah.
I've actually come up with a logo for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Already.
So I've got a round, it's a circle,
Yeah.
like a stamp. I wanted it to
Like
be
a seal.
authority.
Yeah.
Yeah. Impact.
Mm-hmm.
And then a camera in the middle. So you know exactly what it is. What's this stamp of authority? It's cameras.
Okay.
And then around the edge, you can read it.
Yeah.
Cinematic organization, camera know-how.
Wow. And what's the first tip that you're going to put out?
It's all about lighting. I thought start off with the easy things,
Yeah.
but the important things.
Right. Okay.
Lighting.
Wow. That's going to be huge.
Yeah.
And some would look at you and go, that's a deceivingly big C, whatever it was. I can't remember.
Organisation.
Camera know-how.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect it to be that big.
Yeah. Yeah.
Massive.
Yeah. And every week I share massive tips.
Wow. Okay.
So, get some.
Coming soon.
Come and get some. Yeah.
Coming soon to a YouTube channel near you.
Massive tips.
Very near you if you're watching this on YouTube right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's here. If
Actually-
in fact, if you're watching this rather than listening to this, it's very easy.
Yeah.
Just hit the notification bell.
Ring his bell.
And then the next notification you get,
Yeah.
well, that's actually another video.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. It's about audio.
After that.
After that, my face,
Yeah.
lighting hack.
Wow. That's going to be big. And talking of getting excited about large packages.
Do you know what? It goes from good news to bad news because I'm still a little offended about this.
Guess
Right.
what happened? My friends at Rode, my friends, not your friends,
And that's what upsets me.
they did actually say you're allowed one part of this.
The foam packaging.
Packing peanut for you.
I quite like these though. They're like Wotsits.
You're not allowed to eat them though, Pete. So it was actually addressed to AJ INGAF Studios. So that is actually me. Rode have sent me, not you, my friends Rode, sent me their new...
It says mic drop on it. You think you're so cool now, don't you?
the new mic drop and the lavalier Go.
Is it heavy?
That is what it is, for those that don't know.
So the mic drop is actually quite a comfortable weight. It's not as heavy as I thought.
No, it's just a small cable weight.
It's a shame
box.
they hadn't thought about putting a little battery in there with an audio effect that just goes
That would have been brilliant.
mic drop.
Just mic drop. Just gone like mic drop.
Yeah, don't get us to do it.
Yeah,
because, we always press the wrong button.
Yeah, so it's just actually just a lavalier microphones,
Cool idea though.
cable weight.
Simple ones are great.
Yeah, so for those that can't see it or don't know, it's essentially a small metal weight that clips over your microphone cable and goes down to the TRS jack at the bottom. So rather than fiddling around feeding a lavalier mic under top,
Yeah.
you just drop it down, the weight takes it all the way to the bottom.
So I can see perfect use for this. There's many times where you pass someone your expensive lav mics.
Yeah.
In the past, we've used the Sennheiser set.
Yeah.
And it terrifies me.
Yeah, they always...
Because people drop them.
Yeah.
They swing the lavalier around when they're talking to you as if it's just a...
Or pick up the transmitter pack by the microphone.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So, this weight...
Yeah.
Do you mind if I just mic you up? Okay, just drop this down your top.
Yeah. Donk.
Yeah, and it gets stuck in the bra, or they're wearing a vest underneath, it's stuck in the vest. And now it's kind of awkward. I don't want to be hung around while you're feeding the wire.
Yeah, well, you said that there's been some times where your eyes have lit up that you've had to help people.
Sometimes I don't mind, sometimes they don't mind me watching. But this makes it just less awkward.
Yeah.
A little weight that clips on around the 3.5 jack.
And do you know what's interesting about this? It's just a weight. The Rode could have, they've sent it from Australia, they could have just sent me this, and I've gone, that's really cool. I'll use that, and I'll probably mention it in the podcast or on the website or something. But they felt the need to send us a lav mic as well. Which, I mean, thanks. They didn't need to do that.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And they didn't need to do it, so maybe I should have it.
Oh, no.
And what I don't get is this is cheap. I always cover the cheaper stuff.
This is cheap.
So
Actually,
why did it go to you? And not only that, it's our channel. So I kind of feel like I've been done over here.
Oh, you totally have. Yeah, but, they're my friends, not yours.
Yeah, so what they've done
Yeah.
is they've gone, Pete tends to cover the cheap stuff. Don't want to be associated to that.
Yes.
So they just chose you. So, even though it's cheap, so it should be me.
So what's good, though, is that, and now you're moving over to your cinematic organisation.
Camera know-how. Yeah.
You're probably going to move away from the cheap stuff.
More cinematic.
Be more cinematic. And then maybe one day in the future, if you're lucky, Rode might send you a mic drop too. It's unlikely, though.
Well,
so
it looks cool. I've got to say, it does look cool.
Thanks to my friends Rode, not Pete's friends. My friends, not yours.
Shocking.
Yeah. And talking of my friends, there's some more of my friends. It's an upcoming video.
Your video next.
Should we do this? I've got them in hand.
Well, I do really like them, so yeah, let's move it along.
The Podcast Pro, you can hold the purple one.
We're still talking about mics.
Still talking about microphones. So coming out on Monday is our full review of the Sontronics Podcast Pro. The best microphone for podcasting and live streaming at the desk tutorials that you've never heard of. That's how I'd describe them. They're hand-built in the UK. They're a microphone company that come from the recording studio world. So they typically make microphones for instruments and vocalists in the music industry.
Let's be honest. You only love this because you're an audio snob.
Oh, yeah. Totally. And
so that's out there.
Yeah, that's just out there. They're 100 quid or 90 quid, actually.
Okay, well, that kind of ruins you being an audio snob.
Well, that's my point is, for the price point, there's very little else that competes with that. And they look awesome.
I love the colours.
They sound great. They look great on camera.
What they've done is they've looked at companies like Apple and gone, people really like crazy bright colours. Yeah. Let's do some.
Yeah.
And then on a microphone, they look mental.
They're one of the few companies that have twigged on that live streamers and podcasters, that their microphone's actually an integral part of their set.
Yeah.
So how it looks is actually really important, especially game streaming. You think if you're green screened or got a very simple background, it's literally just you and your microphone.
Yeah, and you've got their product right in your mouth.
Oh dear.
So
you don't.
Let's say it's a celebrity podcast.
Right.
Oh look, there's our product going right in her mouth.
Oh dear.
Imagine that on a billboard.
Well, no one would want to see you with your mouth.
Not me.
Right. Okay, that's what it looked like.
Okay,
from my perspective.
think of another celebrity.
Right.
Another celebrity, not this one.
Yeah.
Right. You're Sontronics now.
Yeah.
Product placement.
Yeah.
Right in her mouth.
Yeah, I don't think they'd buy that. I mean, considering that the marketing director is
the billboard,
woman as well,
I could come up with a slogan for it.
Okay. They've not asked for your help.
Well, their loss. I'm not going to give it to them then. I'm not going to give it to them. Right. Okay.
What was your thoughts on these?
Can I be blatantly
You could be
harsh
anything you
with
like.
it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay. They're really, really good.
Yes.
But if they're 100 quid,
Yeah.
what I would say is I've heard your desk use of this in the tutorials, right? So if anyone wants to hear exactly what they sound like, go have a look at any of the free downloads, and there's AJ telling you how to install things and get it running on Premiere Pro. He does it all with this microphone. 100 quid. Okay, that's ruined it for me. It's a little bit too cheap. You can get them on Amazon for 100 quid.
Yeah.
And I know the audio quality. I think they've done themselves a misservice there.
I would totally agree with you.
Okay. But give me the choice and I can have Rode like this. And Rode, if you want to send me the pod mic that they've got.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much it is, but let's say it's 100 quid.
Same price, yeah.
Okay, it is 100 quid. Rode versus this.
Yeah.
Rode's bound to win. Because these guys clearly spent their £100 just on the casing.
I mean, I've not personally used the Rode pod mic, so I can't talk about its quality. And if Rode are listening to this, I would genuinely love to put these. No.
Stop. If Rode, and if you are listening to this, I would really like to try your pod mic.
But you've seen what he does with microphones. He puts them in his mouth. So
yeah, so if you want this branding opportunity, hit us up. Hit us up.
Maybe not. I don't think they're going to buy that. But,
okay. Speak to you soon, Rode.
I'll actually talk to their marketing guy.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Okay, I'll tell you how that call goes.
Yeah.
Hi, is that the marketing guy from Rode?
Hello. Oh, it'd be Australian, wouldn't it? God, I.
Oh, hi there. Sorry to disturb your lovely weather you're having over there.
No dramas.
That's okay. Sorry about the aeroplanes as well. Yeah, bloody G7
Struth,
Summit.
I thought you were in Heathrow or something.
Okay, that's a good accent.
It's rubbish, but
I'll get straight to the point.
Yeah.
Sontronics have sent AJ some microphones.
Do you mean Sontronics?
Oh, I'm surprised you've heard of them. Yes, them.
Them as well. Yeah.
Okay, well, I've got you on the phone.
Yeah.
Just quickly.
Sure.
They look really cool.
They do, right.
Okay.
Bonza.
Your pod mic doesn't look as cool.
But
I bet it sounds better. But I can't prove the point to AJ.
Okay.
Because I don't have one. Send us one. Right, you ruined it. That was a little sketch show.
Right. Yeah, okay.
You ruined it.
Yeah.
They didn't hang up.
He did.
Right, pick up the phone. Go straight back to it. No, he didn't hang up. Pick up the phone again.
Hello.
Oh, sorry, that was a bit of interference there on the line.
Tyler speaking.
Yeah, so can you send me the pod mic?
Yeah, sure thing. Well, is it going to AJ at INGAF Studios?
No, not to AJ, to Pete.
Sorry, we only sent it to reviewers we recognise.
Oh, it's the same channel.
Sorry, we don't recognise your name.
You what?
We don't recognise you.
The same channel as AJ.
Yeah, AJ's channel.
Excuse me, AJ. Look here, mate. Just send it to me. Put AJ's name on it. But a note inside to say, and Pete.
It sounds like someone's trying to impersonate AJ and steal one of his microphones.
Right, do you know what? This is a stupid sketch. Right, so...
Right.
If they want to send it, send it. If they don't.
Hello, Pete, you still there?
Is all right, but I don't...
Pete, you still there?
No, I put the phone down.
Oh, that's a bit rude.
Yeah.
It's a bit rude.
Bit rude. That was a rubbish Australian accent in the end. It kind of dipped off a little bit.
Yeah, I mean...
So, yeah, that was a good call.
It went really well.
Yeah, good call.
So Sontronic Podcast Pro reviews going out on Monday, and you'll get to hear and see what I think. Hear what it sounds like and see what I think about it.
But if you can't wait, go and have a look at a tutorial. Is there already?
Yeah. Apart from the last two, which I've used a Shure SM7B, I just took them out of the podcast studio because they were there. The problem is, right, this microphone, it's what, £500 sometimes, but about £400 on average. It sounds so good for talking that it spoils everything else.
That's very true.
It literally spoils. So when we looked to doing some of the pilots for your new tutorials, I took one of these microphones out, I put it in the set, and I just thought, well, let's have it in front of you. Let's have it in shot and see what it sounds like. It sounds amazing. And I'm like, well, why would I do anything else now? Before, these were incredible. And for £100, I was like, I can't fault it. It sounds fantastic. Easy to work with. Looks great. But now these are here.
And if you can say that and you're audio techie, nerdy...
Proper audio snob,
twat.
Yeah. Twat.
That slipped.
Oh.
That slipped, yeah. Obviously, I didn't mean that. That was a joke.
It didn't sound very jokey.
Yeah, but if you think that, then I'll go with you on it. Yeah. I mean, they sound nice.
They do sound great. And if you could only afford £100...
For £100, they're amazing.
Yeah. Talking of value and what is better value, on Wednesday we published quite a special video that's more, I'd say the video is actually, let's justify why we made a choice. And that choice was between buying the Lumix S1H and the Lumix S1 after Panasonic released that new Vlog firmware for it, which gave it the 5.7K video features of the S1H. So we took the plunge and bought the S1, and we've talked about that before. So the video that went out was comparing them side by side, because we spent a lot of time with the S1H. I think we reviewed it 2 or 3 times, actually.
Yeah.
I made a film with it.
Yeah.
One of my favourite cameras ever, and I'm pretty sure you share that. So, what do you think? S1H versus S1? Because it was my opinion, that video.
Okay. So,
based off our experiences.
I really struggled with the decision to, let's face it, save money, but not get the thing I wanted. Kind of close, but it's not the thing I wanted. I struggled with that right up until we got it, and then I kind of, if I'm honest, convinced myself that it was just as good. It's not until you really rummage around where you realise where that value is. Excuse me. And then I was really pleased to see, as soon as the video went up, it was released on YouTube, and immediately somebody else had been rummaging around YouTube or subscribed to our channel, I don't know, immediately commented and goes, "You must be reading my mind."
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. And I thought, great comment, because it's someone else in exactly the same situation that's going, I don't know if consumers out there are aware, but since Panasonic did this update, you can get the S1, save yourself $2,000. It looks so similar to the S1H. It has, with the update, pretty much the majority of the things are the same within the camera. So it produces pretty much the same, and it looks pretty much the same. And I saved $2,000.
Yeah, you're getting 95% of the camera for less than half price.
So it told me instantly that the struggles that we went through, other people are doing exactly the same.
Because it's too good to be true.
Sure.
It's one of those things you're told to avoid. Buy cheap, buy twice. Too good to be true.
Yeah. And I think, unfortunately, they won't sell enough S1s.
No.
Just by doing the update.
No.
I think they've got to be really open and say, look, let's put some review units out there for YouTubers to cover this and just do an honest review. And one of the things that a lot of the big brands are very good at is going, just take it, see what you think. You've got it for 2 weeks, a month, and let us know what you think. And having no say in it, and we release the video and you send it back.
The thing the thing that's really intriguing me now is you've got the S1H. The S1H2 is meant to be coming, but let's say that the flagship of their hybrid bodies is the S1H for video. You've got the S1 that we've got.
Yeah.
The GH52's just come out, which sits underneath that. There's also an S5, which is their budget full frame. It's like a baby S1H. I'm now genuinely intrigued as to what that camera's like.
Yeah.
Like, I'd love to get a review unit of that. It'd be, we don't personally have the need for it now, but I want to see what it's like.
Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Because I guess part of what we've enjoyed doing is, as we've seen success, we've been able to buy bigger and better and go more the cinematic route with everything we do, and everything's got upgraded as we've gone along. And we should have loads of cheaper stuff, although you've given most of it away. But that journey, I still enjoy those cheaper finds.
Yeah.
And a bit like you find all over YouTube video reviews of like how to shoot cinematic on an iPhone, for example. Well, it's near on bloody impossible.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I was just lying to you.
No dynamic range.
Yeah.
And it's really tough. However, I do like that concept. Using something that's relatively cheap and trying to get the highest level of performance out of it. So, yeah, I'd be interested in that. Now, the S1 and the S1H, what I realised through spending a fair bit of time with both is that actually the differences are next to nothing.
Yeah.
I do miss the red button. I do miss that big big button. It just made it more of a video camera.
Do you miss the front-facing screen yet? Has that bothered you at all?
It's actually not at all.
No.
The only thing if I can be totally honest, dislike about the S1 is, and that's just because I'm worried that I'm going to be too heavy-handed, is moving that screen out.
Yeah.
It just makes me nervous that I'm going to damage it or twist it in some way. But that's just me. Simple things like sunglasses. You're trying to fold them back up again. I bent the hinge on a pair.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of resistance. I think it's natural. I push against it. Now the hinge is bent. And I feel the same about those scissor mechanisms. It's, I'm sure pretty solid, but it does concern me.
The other difference that puts a lot of people off is the record time limit. And I see it all the time with cameras. People moan about bad record time limits.
Yeah.
The S1's got a 15-minute record time limit when you're at the highest resolutions, the 4K, 422, 10-bit, 1459. So 15 minutes record time. But it's not the type of camera that you're going and like filming an interview or a podcast with.
Yeah, that's right.
And if you were, you're going to be recording externally, I would imagine, anyway.
Yeah, and the reality is, with all of our commercial work, there's very few times where one clip would run for that long.
Yeah. Podcasts is the only time I can really think about it.
That's
or
very true.
really painfully slow interviews.
Yeah.
There has been a couple.
But generally, even if you're shooting something scripted that is a longer form, there'd be break points.
Yeah, you would break.
There's very...
I guess my point being is that we've not run into
any issue
that as an issue.
No.
Whereas the S1H, you can do 30-minute record time. Oh, no, unlimited record times because it has the rear venting.
Yeah.
It's not been a thing.
No, I'd say absolutely. As the video kind of says, you can buy the S1 with confidence and save $2,000. And the things that you're going to miss, they're noticeable. They are there. And if you've got loads of money, or if you're a vlogger and you want that front-facing camera, then pay the extra $2,000.
I'm still not sure who front-facing screens are for on top-end cameras. You say vloggers, and I totally agree, they are. On something like a 200D or a A7C, cheaper cameras, get it, because that's what vloggers do.
Sure.
On an S1H, it's almost a £4,000 camera. Who's vlogging on that? It's huge. It's weighty. You couldn't put it on
I suppose you could argue
it's
different for us because you're always shooting as a crew. If you're one man, and I guess you sit down, you want to see what does it look like. Yeah. But then I would argue if you're spending that much on a camera, then I'm sure you've got enough to put a monitor on your camera.
Just going to be bigger and better.
Yeah.
Yes. So anyway, I really enjoyed making that video. It was nice because we compiled all this archive footage from years, actually, of different settings and stuff. And Andy did a cracking edit on it. I thought it was really beautifully put together.
Yeah, it's a nice piece. Definitely worth watching.
So, moving into the world of camera news. So, shall I press a button? This one? Yeah, thanks very much.
Camera news.
DJI news.
Oh, okay. That's always one of my favourites.
Yes.
So the last news we had from DJI was quite underwhelming. I thought it was going to be groundbreaking.
Yeah. Getting rid of the Mavic.
They just got rid of,
the
Mavic.
rumours. And this news story goes some way to confirm that as well.
Okay.
That rumour.
Okay.
Just to say that the rumours we report on are almost always right.
Well, people have accredited that to us.
Me and you. Credited to each other.
Well, yeah, they've said, Pete's always right.
Oh, yeah, often.
Mainly the missus. She always say that.
She never says that.
Never says that.
So, a staff member at Walmart in America.
Oh, what? Do you know what? I thought this was proper news then.
No, this is fantastic. Has published a photo of a product boxed in DJI packaging.
Oh.
Called the DJI Mini SE in a Walmart warehouse.
Guess who just lost his job?
It's so amazing.
That's awesome.
So if that's true and not some weird photoshopping, It'd be elaborately photoshopped if it was, but, has happened.
Yeah.
If it's true, it's confirmed the other rumour that the Mavic name is going.
Right.
And that this is going to be their replacement to the Mavic Mini, which is their budget small drone. And this could be the cheapest DJI drone ever made. That's the other rumour that's been attached to it. So is that going to be
like the Spark sort of size?
Yeah, it's going to be small and foldable drone, fit in your palm of your hand.
Right.
It'll have a 2.7K camera. This was on the packaging of the box.
That's ridiculous, isn't it?
For something that small, it's insane. And 30 minutes flight time, which...
Incredible.
Yeah, it is incredible. We've got such a love-hate relationship with drones. And I look at them almost like a voyeur now. I love it, but I don't touch it.
Yeah, my love-hate's slightly different.
Yours is more expensive.
I love to fly it. I hate to crash it.
Yeah. I love the footage, but I'm all right.
The truth is there's just not enough commercial need, and if the commercial need came about, it wouldn't be at that end.
No, you'll be buying the proper ones, of which Sony are releasing one soon.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a bit like...
GoPro.
No, much better. Our actual professional drone that mounts the A7S3 underneath it.
Oh my goodness, really?
Yeah.
Where do you hear these rumours?
Oh, I'm tuned in,
I've never seen anything about it. That's
Our
awesome.
friend from Scotland, Mikey McCannis, he was asking about it because obviously he flies drones commercially for broadcast productions. Yeah, things like your favourite TV show.
Can you get him...
Country File.
Bring him in. Let's do an edit. Bring him in now into the mix.
Oh, no, he does. He was asking me about it, if I knew anything about it. So we could cut to him, but he would just say, and no one would understand it.
Yeah.
He's going to hate us.
What did you have? Potatoes?
He's not Irish. He's Scottish.
No, I know, but it was just, I couldn't make any sense of it.
So
I wasn't playing to some kind of stereotype. You've then gone Irish. No, I was just saying
it sounded like it.
I can't understand the Scottish.
Well, so you're playing to the stereotype.
No, because potato would be I'm not even going to go that way. Mikey's a nice guy.
He is.
What's he say?
Yeah, he also is an not just ex-military, but he's also an ex-EVA user. He no longer has a Panasonic EVA 1.
Shame on him.
Shame on him. He's gone Sony.
Unfriend.
He's gone to the Sony world, FX world. Oh, Sony cinema cameras.
So I really like how saturated everything is. But he said it like this.
There's only a few words I can do with Scottish accent, and it rubber bands back to being a kid.
Right.
We had a geography teacher who was proper Scottish, real vicious woman, Mrs. Francis, I think she was.
I always say the best way to learn an accent is to pick a food.
Stereotype?
No, a food from that region. So, okay, Irish, you would say potato. Now think of the Irish accent and say potato.
Potato.
Okay. Now, I want you to think of the Cornish accent and say what they tend to have in their pasty. Teddies and skirt.
See, that sounds Scottish to me. Teddies and skirt.
Does it?
Yeah. Teddies.
Teddies and skirt. So that's my best
Okay, let's do a quick
Scottish.
segment of worst accents in the world. We've already had Australian.
Oh,
and Pete's Irish Scottish. The Scottish woman, it was around the time of Tamagotchis. Do you remember them?
Yeah.
And some girl had a Tamagotchi and it beeped off, and she just turned around and she went, "Put that Tamagotchi away!" It's stuck with me.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So that's what Mikey sounds like.
Yeah, he is. "I'll put that Panasonic away!"
Which reminds me, that's the voice of Mrs. Doubtfire.
It is, yeah.
Wow.
So there we have it. The DJI
that
Mavic
was
Mini.
well worth covering.
Not
because,
Mavic.
None of that would have come up if it wasn't for the Mavic that's not a Mavic.
Yeah, absolutely. I neglected to say earlier, Sontronics, these stands. The Elevate stands.
I mean, we gave them enough credit.
Yeah.
Everything they do is beautiful.
This is, I've used a lot of their products in the music world days that I was in, and this is my favourite product they've ever made. The Elevate stand.
Yeah, stunning.
Stunning. We've got a Rode PSA-1 in the other room on set up as a desk, which is a great stand. Really durable. It's got a lovely mechanism. But this is different class. Same price as well.
Which is mental, because this is better looking than the Rode.
Yeah. The only problem with this is that it's designed for their microphones.
Yeah.
So the Shure SM7Bs, we had to put an extension tube here.
Oh,
so we can spin it around.
That was going to be one of my audio hacks.
What, from the Cinematic Organisation of Camera Know-How?
And podcasts. It's a different season.
Oh,
yeah.
You're going to have to come up with a different acronym for that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm going to work on that.
Think about it. Canon news.
Wow, you've actually heard something from Canon.
I reached out to them.
Oh, brilliant. Okay.
To substantiate this story that I've heard for our publication, which gets around 150,000 impressions every month. Just if Canon are interested in ever sending us anything to cover, it could be that I'll take, I don't know, the 60D.
We'll take that poxy little Polaroid style camera, the instant camera. Start with that.
Anything. Send us a battery.
You'd start on that, would you?
No, I wouldn't. I'd send it back to them.
Yeah, I'll send it back to you.
I'd send it back to them.
In pieces.
Oh dear.
With a little note.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's strong.
With a Polaroid. Send it back with a Polaroid.
I'll send it back to them with the GH5 Mark II that's not been collected yet, that's still sat in our storeroom. Teasing us. Give us a microphone for 3 days to do a video. Say that they desperately need it back, and then don't collect it so it just sits there teasing us. Panasonic, I thought you were my friends.
They're not your friends.
No.
But this is Canon news, and you're talking about Panasonic.
Sorry, let's start that again.
The Canon segment. Canon Camera News.
That's right. So I reached out to Canon and asked them to substantiate the story that I heard. Do you know what the reply was?
Oh, dear. Oh.
Nothing. Crickets.
I'm sorry about that, AJ.
So, there has been a patent filed, and all patents are public information when they get filed.
That's good.
So quite often you see on the rumour sites, the new lens designs that get patented, they get leaked on these sites so people can talk, people end up talking about them. Canon have patented, or filed a patent anyway, for APS-C lenses with the RF mount, which is interesting because there is no APS-C cameras with the RF mount.
Oh, nothing gets past you.
Yeah, so what that means is that there is almost certainly APS-C sized censored cameras coming with the Canon RF mount.
I follow.
Yeah.
I follow the story.
Which is interesting. They'll be cheaper. Some people prefer the APS-C size sensor. I've seen all the Fuji cameras. I like that. It's not too heavy a crop, 1.7 times. And I'll take that interesting thing a step further and say it signals once again the almost certain demise of the EF mount. Goodbye all of those EF cameras that are still being sold. And are they okay doing that?
Have you got anything by Adele on here? You know, something sad. Just for the... Because it is... No, that's not...
It's the closest thing to Adele I've got. Yeah, so goodbye EF mount for certain. We know that's happening anyway. They're not going to have two lens systems going on at the same time. They've never done that.
Devastating.
Yeah, it's sad because, you know, we've got a lot of EF cameras still.
Buy them up, that's what I say. If you see EF mount lenses...
Or do you wait? Will they drop in price when they get discontinued?
Oh.
There's a certain...
Which way do you
It's like cars, isn't it? There's a depreciation curve, and then at a certain point they start becoming scarce.
We should speak to the guys at London Camera Exchange and find out what they're up to. Because they'll know. They sell used stuff as well, don't they?
They do. What the pricing's up to.
Yeah. What's going to happen with the pricing?
Hey,
what do you think?
Guys, does a deal.
Well, just put us a word to the wise so we can go out. We could do some investments.
Oh, lens investments.
Yeah. Maybe they're going up. Maybe they're going down.
It's true.
Buy low, sell high, AJ.
That's good advice. Very good advice. Pete.
Oh, I love this section.
Yeah, it's the same theme tune as the Canon News section, but it is the...
Yeah, I remember Nikon.
Remember Nikon?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Guess what?
Yeah.
Yeah, the new camera that's coming out.
Yeah,
Nikon.
yeah.
We're hearing stuff about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still not released.
I knew it. That was false excitement.
That's the end of Nikon news.
Oh, well, guys.
One day, Nikon will release this new camera.
With a statement that says on every box...
Sorry.
That will do. That was way better than what I was going to say.
Sorry. That's all they need to say. Sorry. You know the Nikon rattle that our camera had?
Yes.
Yeah, the strap rattle that is like, I'm a photographer.
Yeah.
I took them off.
It does. Every time you shake it.
Yeah.
Shake, shake, shake.
Photographer.
Is anyone looking at me? Shake, shake, shake.
I use Nikon.
Shake, shake, shake.
Look at my Nikon lenses.
I'm at a wedding.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, definitely Nikon then.
At the bar.
Oh, is that the photographer coming? Yeah.
Drink over here, please.
Yeah, he'll have another pint.
Yeah.
He needs to drown his sorrows for that Nikon he's got.
Oh. But it is. That is the sound of a Nikon photographer.
Yeah, I took it off.
Shake, shake.
It's gone for good. I haven't put them in the bin.
Oh,
gone.
There's no coming back.
Never
from that.
coming back. I want to touch on quickly Olympus, the camera company everyone loves to forget. More so than Nikon, actually. They had a dramatic fall from grace last year when Olympus decided that they no longer wanted their camera company. They obviously make scanners and medical equipment, all sorts of stuff, like Canon does, a huge company.
Yep.
And the camera part's one small part. They sold that to like some financiers. They like sold it off. We don't want to make cameras anymore.
I do remember this, yeah.
So it was like, is that the end of Olympus? Are they dead? Is Olympus gone? And it was a real shame. At that time, they had just released the EM1 Mark III, and they'd sent it to us to review it. And it was a cracking micro four thirds camera. It was really good, especially good with some vintage lenses. I thought it was a good little video camera. I thought maybe they're on the same trajectory as Fuji was. A big push into the video world. Let's make video a big thing about these cameras, and they become relevant to us all of a sudden and quite exciting. And then it goes kaput. Well, we are seeing the first leaked images of the first camera to be released in Olympus Mark II, I guess you'd call them.
Right. And what's the video side of that looking like?
You would imagine it's the first camera for this new company.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big hitter, isn't it?
Needs to be.
Yeah, let's really make a big statement. Let's try and fight Canon and Sony for dominance here. It's the EP7, which is part of the Olympus pen range. Exactly, yeah. The little, clip, point and shoot.
Do you know,
travel cameras?
It's no, and this is after some kind of bailout. They sold it off.
Yeah. This is the big.
You've got all the big payroll guys now. Come in.
Yeah,
they go. I know. We'll sort this out.
Yeah, we got it. We got this. Don't worry.
What a shame.
Yeah, it's. I think some people would call it a shit show.
After showing so much promise of where it could go, it was almost like there was someone there that goes, I know we're in a real mess, but
this camera will save us.
I've come up with this.
Yeah.
And they just hit the market with it, and they're going, sorry, it's just too little too late. And hopefully whoever picked it up after that would have run with it.
Yeah.
What a shame.
I saw an interesting article, actually, talking about why Sony dominates so much in the internet landscape. And their theory is twofold. One is that the Sony Alpha marketing and PR department are willing to engage with creators far more than any other company are, which I'd say is true to a point, although it hasn't filtered down to us, but maybe that's a UK thing, not a US thing. But their main point was that they release so many products. They're just constantly releasing products, and that's not for any other reason than to stay relevant, as in talked about.
It's very low profit though, isn't it?
Very low profit, but they are always talked about. But it isn't. If the technology and the components inside are transferred from one product to another, and actually the interior of the cameras are very similar.
Yeah.
They are actually just changing the chassis slightly.
I mean, what would Mikey say to that? He's the Sony guy.
He'd probably just go, it was a camera. It's a camera. What do you think of that? It's a camera. Or, Tamagotchi.
Yeah, it's not very helpful for a podcast, though, is it?
What, Tamagotchis? No.
That's all the feedback. I'd expect a little bit more.
No.
I've not dipped my toes enough in the whole Sony world. I'm willing to say.
It's mainly because they won't send us anything.
If they did send us something, I'd have a little play. I can't say I'm overly excited, even if there's a big box now to play with downstairs.
You like playing with big boxes, don't you?
Well, do you know what? I'd dive in, but it just doesn't get me that excited. It's not a brand in video equipment that I get particularly excited about.
It's weird, isn't it? It's like a whole vein on its own.
But in truth, I don't know a huge amount.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that. But loads of people do, and loads of people like it. I've only just become brave enough to, and it was only because we got sent stuff to play with in the first place, that we invested in Panasonic. But prior to that, I was very much Canon through and through, and that was my thing. And
it's for no other reason other than it's a comfortable place. You know how to use them, you know where the buttons are, you know how to get to the quick menu and change the X, Y, and Z. You know how to get the look you want. And it's like all tools. You go to the ones that are going to get the job done the best and the quickest. So changing how the tool works completely is a big thing to do when you're working all the time. But we're getting better at that. Talking of changing all the time, the favourite brand that we never buy, Fujifilm.
Oh, yes. Got to say film.
Fujifilm. Got to say film. Sorry, Andreas. I'm sorry. I didn't say film. Again. Fuji. So the Fuji X-H2.
Yeah, you're a big fan.
It's coming.
No, big fan of Fuji.
I'm a big fan of Fuji, yeah.
You said it.
Bollocks. So the X-H1 was a pretty popular APS-C size mid-priced camera. And like all Fuji cameras at the moment, they're making a huge push.
Said it again.
Yeah, I'm just going to say Fuji the whole time. Fuck them. So
it's a bold move.
Yeah, well, it will be when they send us nothing again.
Yeah.
Yeah, like all the Fuji cameras at the moment, they're making a huge push into video. That's their big thing. And reportedly, the X-H2, which is coming at the start of 2022, is going to have that magic number that everyone loves so much. 8K video.
Okay. Yeah, everyone does love it. Everyone does. But
all the spec hunters and all the rumour sites and the podcasts that report on rumours, we all jump at this 8K thing. I'm still yet to use a camera with 8K and actually film in 8K.
Yeah.
I'm still struggling to understand the point as well. Still really can't quite get my head around that.
Well, the one known is that you will not only be buying a camera, but you will now have to upgrade your computer.
Yeah. Since we've been recording 422 10-bit 4K regularly for all videos and all the B-roll, when before we'd have a mixture, we have been burning through hard drive space.
Yeah.
Like video projects are now 150 to 200 gig each video. That's insane. Yeah,
it separates your creators definitely because it's an expense to bear.
Yeah. So 8K video, you're going to start getting into the territory of like how much data Red cameras or Arris store, but without the quality benefits of those cameras. Do you know?
What do you think the megapixels would be? Because do you remember that Alice cam? It was basically it was a hybrid of a camera, a DSLR that coupled with a smartphone.
Yes.
And I remember it was like the Panasonic GH5. I think it was a Micro Four Third sensor, 4K, and 10 megapixel. And basically, you coupled on the back. It had like a standard phone bracket clamp, and you would put your phone in. You could see what you were filming or what have you, review photos. Amazing little bit of kit, but I think it was going to be about 700 quid.
Too much.
Which was too much, yeah. If they put that at like £400,
people would buy it. Yeah.
Yes, you get your DSLR style image with a lot of hacks.
Yeah.
A lot of software in there. But very clever. But what I'm getting at is that was 10 megapixels.
Yes.
I wonder what it would be. What's the quality you're getting at 6K there?
8K. I don't know.
8K, sorry.
Yeah, so 4K minimum is 8. 4K technically is...
And I'm bored.
8.6 megapixels, million pixels.
Yeah.
Yeah, no talk about...
It's just not... There's not a market for it.
I don't think there is either.
Not yet. Okay, one example of how I'd use it. I could Ken Burns more.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass to
do
do
I
in the
could
first
just
place.
set up the shot properly.
Yeah. I mean, we could set this shot up here and punch in and out, not lose a huge amount of resolution.
But then nobody watches. The camera's here, but the majority consume this by podcast.
Yeah, but even video podcasts, people do watch them, but they tend to watch them in the background.
Yeah.
And that's fine. So having multiple camera angles is a little bit over the top. If we got to a stage where we could afford to have someone just to sit there and use a switcher whilst we did this, like Joe Rogan, or Lou Later, totally makes sense. But then it doesn't make 8K sense. All
that's true.
That hard drive space, it'd be
do you
such
know what
a
will
pain
happen
to do
by
it.
the time that whole world of 8K becomes a thing? It will be that technology that we've seen more and more throughout the pandemic, where you have almost a cameraman in a pan tilt zoom remote camera. So you've got an operator for it, and it'll be something along those lines. Huge amount of software in there, huge amount of hardware, and massively expensive, but obviously price has got to come down.
The other thing I really dislike, when companies or even creators talk about the justification for higher resolution video, they always talk about the post-production thing. And yes, things like warp stabilization and things are better when you've got more pixels. But the changing camera angles in shot, it does technically work, but it doesn't look like you've changed camera angles. It doesn't look like you've zoomed. It doesn't look like you've changed to a different angle because of how the focal plane works. You're not getting the same distortion of movement, you know? It looks like you've cropped into a part of a frame. It doesn't look like you've zoomed in.
Yeah.
There's a subtle difference. So you're losing quality by doing this. If you're using just one fixed camera and justifying its existence by saying, oh, actually you can get 3 camera angles from one shot. You get 3 bad angles from one shot.
I just wonder what else is there with technology that we don't know about. The fact that there's such an urgent push to go 6 and 8K, when currently the newest TVs that are in homes around the world, I'd say the world, certainly the case in the UK, is 4K.
That's top end.
Yeah. So you've spent some decent money on the telly.
Yeah.
It's 4K.
And when the majority of the creators are creating for a streaming service that compresses videos to non-existence, YouTube, it struggles with putting out decent 4K. Its compression. You'll film something, you'll render it out, and it looks beautiful on your monitor. You go, that's really great. You put it on YouTube, and suddenly all the blacks will start like crushed. And
so what's the work for this? I guess is what we're saying, because there's not a commercial appetite for it.
No.
There's not the market isn't ready for this. As in, a lot of our content is consumed by tablet or mobile.
Yeah, in 1080 or less.
And crushed down by YouTube.
Yes.
So
future-proof. That's the other thing people say. It's like, yeah, but these products have like a 3-year life. So you're not future-proofing anything.
No.
Like most people, most professionals own their camera for 3 years and then will change it.
Yeah.
Maybe less. Like a car, you know?
Go back to our problem if we were to have an 8K camera, hard drive space and processing. Whose computer is going to enjoy some extreme heat running that footage?
We're good in the winter.
Yeah.
So that leads me nicely onto doing this and pressing this button.
Oh, it's the end of the show already.
The end of the show.
I haven't done any songs. End of the show. It's another podcast. Show is the end of the show.
So thanks for listening to the INGAF Camera News Podcast. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe.
Done. Bye.
We're not done for good.
Okay.
Just right now.
Proper outro.
Yeah, it's a full outro.
Yeah. Remember, Rode, if you were listening, send us the pod mic.
And I'll make sure he doesn't touch it. And Fuji, I'm sorry, I can't help it. I call you Fuji.
And everyone else, thanks for listening. If you've been driving, enjoying this on the way, drive responsibly. Slow down.
That's all, folks.
I always listen in the car, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So see them next week. Hope they get home safe.